All right. Thanks very much for the 25 bits and the host, World Misfits. I hope you're having a good afternoon and a good weekend so far. I don't know if they celebrate the bank holiday weekend in the US of A, but just hope you're having a good weekend anyway. So, welcome to Sweet State 34. Approaching that 3-year milestone in 2 months' time. For those who don't know what the Sweet State is, it's basically a sort of monthly update as to how things are in the state of this channel. Boy, you're milking that the way of Robinson's Requiem. I need to acquire that World Misfit. And also, I still need to play Lilith first before I play that, so there's no milking or delay. It's just I have this and Lilith to play. After those are done, you will get to see your precious Robinson's Requiem. Yes, I do have a GOG email. Actually, that's probably where I have the game, to be honest. You might have sent it me a while ago or something, but I do have a GOG account, yes. I'll have to double check that later. Oh, okay. Well, I will check after the stream, World Misfits, and I'll get back to you on that. So feel free to send me a message on Discord about it, and I'll make sure I check after the stream. But yeah, basically it's the state of the channel update. Just how I'm doing, what things happened, what things will happen. Just a monthly thing. And also you get full screen of me on a webcam, which is, for some of you, probably not the greatest thing, but whatever. It is what it is, right? So, here we are again. 34 times I've done this shtick. And 34... It'd be interesting to look over these sweet states in when I get to 100 or something, just to see how different I looked back then. It's like those time capsules that people do where they take a picture of themselves every day. It could be a bit like that, only once a month for 100 months sort of thing. Look how he gets thinner and his beard changes and fluctuates, and he starts off depressed and fat and ends up becoming depressed and not so fat. Something like that. So yeah, got quite a bit to cover in today's Sweet State. I'm going to change the camera slightly over there. There we go. Got a few things to cover in this Sweet State, so let's start off with the old personal situation, shall we? As we always do at the start of these. Again, not really much to say on that front, to be honest. Obviously last month I was looking forward to the gyms reopening, and they are now open, and I've been to the gym several times. I've been twice this week. Twice first week it was open. I didn't really go last week because of the vaccine, second jab I had. Week. God, time flies. It's almost 2 weeks ago. But I have had the second jab of the Pfizer vaccine on the mid-April. And I am now I will, as of Monday, be fully vaccinated against COVID. So I should hopefully be fine for the foreseeable future. And hopefully it will stay that way, especially as restrictions are coming down in this country, the UK. So hopefully soon I'll be able to do all the nice things that I used to be able to do before this shit happened almost over a year ago. So I am glad to be back in the gyms. It's nice to get back on some proper exercise. I mean, walking around is fine, doing a few sit-ups, squats is fine, but it's not the same without going to a gym and having the mentality of, and equipment mainly, of proper exercise equipment, and so it's always good. I have missed going to the gym. I have missed feeling the burn a little bit. I have missed that attainment towards losing weight, and I do have a good reason, a bit of an incentive, if you will, because I have sort of dipped during the recent Easter break. But I have a reason to stay on task for losing weight, and that is because I have a wedding to attend in a few months' time. One of my friends is getting married. I am part of his entourage for that day, and I have to wear a suit for what I think is the first time I've ever worn a suit. Like a proper suit in my life. I don't think I've ever had to wear one before. Not to the best of my knowledge, anyway. I've worn some pretty formal stuff on very rare occasion, but I cannot say I have ever worn a suit before. A full, proper suit. It's going to be a hired suit. It's going to be a proper little ceremony. It's going to be a big deal for him and for her. So, with that in mind, I have a great incentive to lose weight so that I can fit into a nice, comfortable suit, and any excuse is welcome, really. So, there is that. But I am also looking forward to the indoor pubs reopening on the 17th of May. Fingers crossed that nothing goes wrong. So far, it hasn't really. The rates have been decreasing, although it will be interesting to see if that remains the case as restrictions continue to loosen. But I'm looking forward to that because the one thing I have truly missed, although it's taken me a while to acknowledge it because I haven't really noticed, is the fact that I can't go and play poker in the pub, and I used to enjoy doing that before the lockdown, and I'd like to do it again. Kind of like the atmosphere of being out on a Wednesday night and playing some poker and watching a football game and just the atmosphere of all the social shit, I'm not the most sociable person, but it's something I like to do, and it'll be nice to do it again. It'll be nice to have that option again. So I'm looking forward to that, hoping that goes well. And yeah, that's that, really. In regards to the personal situation, there hasn't really been anything else. I still have a job. I will hopefully get that renewed, but I won't know anything about that until another 2 months. I've got this term and the next term until the review for my contract, so I don't know what will happen. But fingers crossed, by the time it gets to late July and the end of the academic year, I will have made a good enough impression that they will want to give me at least another year. I'm not expecting to get like a sort of permanent multiple year deal. I'll just be happy taking it year by year as long as I have somewhere to go and work, something I can stabilize in and work towards and have actual career progression instead of my circumstances changing every 12 months, as has been my entire work career for most of my life, which has really been the case. I've held jobs for a few years and then something happens. Sometimes I've held a job for less than a year. It's been all over the place. I'm like a wandering, traveling jobs type person at times. I've seen some shit, let me tell you, I'm almost like that Blade Runner quote, I've seen things you wouldn't believe, yada, yada, yada. So it would be nice to just have a period of long-term stability where I go, this is my job, this is how much I get, and I can save for the future. And eventually continue the 10-year plan of saving up enough money to get my own place and be able to do even better live streams and enjoy life in general on my own 2 feet. Hey, G411, yep, full screen Johnny webcam. I'd sure like to see a moderator say hi in the chat. Soonish, just as a side note. But yes, how are you doing, G411? Hope you're having a good day and the bank holiday. Oh, hey, Bemused, how are you doing? Any further attempts on World Orifice? After the 8 you've already done. Oh, it's time to hydrate already. Okay. I've only been going 10 minutes. I'm not that thirsty. I will be drinking plenty of cider later. Gonna watch a film later tonight. Might play some Fall Guys for a little bit. No, I will not be making any further attempts on World Orifice. It's May. It's over. And I will be talking about that very soon. Don't worry. We'll be talking about all the fallout from that. Hello, Evil Foamy. And hello, Ostinato. Oh, cool. That's a nice sword. I thought it was a laser sword, but no, it's a flame one, isn't it? You let Dubs off. You finally saw enough sense to realise that UV maxing World Orifice may not be the best use of your time. Good job, Bemused. Good job. But, hey, Mikey Do 2424. How's it going? Nice to see you all. So, yeah, that's about it for the personal situation. Not a lot to say. I mean, that's probably a good thing, to be honest, because in the past I've had I've sometimes started some of these sweet states by dumping half an hour to 40 minutes worth of woe is me, the world is shit on you all, like a impromptu CBT session. But I'm glad to report that once again there is just plodding along and everything's okay. So it's all good. It's all good. Right, so since World Orifice was mentioned, this segues nicely into the already established script, but I'm going to now talk about the Uncle Bowl. Oh, right, I don't have the pick loaded. Shit, hold on a second. Give me a moment here. I will be able to find it. There we go. Put that up. Oh, there we go. Ta-da! There it is. A nice, wonderful little thing. So it's time to talk about the Uncle Bowl and where we stand. So, obviously for April, the choice of WOD that was wisely chosen by Ruthie was World Orifice, which was an interesting pick, shall we say. And I did some practice on it a little bit in the Hellforge Discord. I did 2 runs. I also did an impromptu 3rd practice run on here, which wasn't planned, but because I'm not allowed to do it in multiple parts, I had to discount it, although it did serve to be useful for a whole of one thing, I guess. But nevertheless, I did my run a few days ago, and last night I watched A.N. Mutt do his attempts. As a few of you will have been a few of you in the chat in a moment were there, of course. I hosted A.N. Mutt as he did his attempt, and well, Mutt had a couple of close calls, but he did manage to just barely get about 100 more kills than I did, and therefore he won for April. I am really regretting telling Mutt to practice, to be honest. It is my own fault. It is entirely my own fault. I told A.N. Mutt what to expect and that he should probably practice a little bit because of how tedious it is. In hindsight, I should have said absolutely nothing and let Mutt discover it the hard way, and then I might have won. But I felt I wanted to be charitable, given that World Orifice was a very unique kind of experience. You know, I didn't want Mutt to think he was going to play for an hour or something and run out of time. I wanted to give him fair warning that if you're going to go for a deep run, you'll want to play for about 3 or 4 hours. So he did indeed prepare himself a little bit, and it may or may not have helped. Again, he had a lot of close calls during the run, and the annoying thing is that shortly after securing the win, he then died about 2 minutes later to Revenants anyway. So basically, if I'd been a little more careful, I could have won. That's the annoying thing. If he'd stayed alive for another hour or so, I'm yeah, fair enough. But he literally died 2 minutes after beating me. 2 Revenants. That sticks in my craw a little bit because it just makes me realize if I'd been a little more patient, like he was, I could have got past him. I really could have. Just a little more patience, a little less geometrical incompetence, and if it wasn't playing on PR Boom, its stupid blinding red screen, which is bullshit, then I might have won. But nope, I didn't. And now it is 3-1 to Mutt in the Uncle Bowl, and we go into May now. And I just need to let's see. Let me just bring up the thing here. Hey, Flynn, how's it going? So the Iron Man for just capping the corner means you can drag out every rev out and BSG at the bento safety. Yeah, I wish I had kind of been a little more patient. I mean, I just lost patience. It was that kind of mistake. I mean, I thought I had practiced well. It was just one mistake that cost me, and it was something that I probably really could have avoided. If I'd just been extra cautious, I feel I could have beat the revs. But, I shouldn't normally have to spend 2.5 hours on a single map to get half. It was an experience, all right. But I really hope that's the last time that we see that kind of WOD picked in an Iron Man, because quite frankly, and I will say this again, in the 6 years I've played the Iron Man League, that was the single worst pick I have ever seen. That doesn't mean that the WOD itself is bad. I just think it was a horrendous pick because it was really boring and tedious to have to endure for the sake of, an Iron Man. But that's just my opinion, and I'm going to stick to that. Other people would probably think it was the most engaging thing ever. We call those people sadists, or people who can better appreciate the challenge. But that's my opinion. And keep in mind, this is an Iron Man League that has had Hell Revealed on the 50th. Hell Revealed was in, and I still thought that was a better pick. But that's just my opinion. I don't mean to be critical of Rufy. He has the right to choose what he wants, just like everyone else does. Just like I will. The current plan, I believe, is I will be doing next month's Iron Man. I do still plan to do at least 1 month, and I think I've been penciled in for June, so I will be doing next month, which means I will need to have something in mind. But anyway, the Iron Man for this month is Violence by AD79, which is something that I am a little familiar with. At least I've played it before. It's only 4 maps, brief, can be a little difficult, but at least it's a thing. So Mott will go first in this month's Iron Man, so I will wait for his run, and then I will have to better it because I can't really afford to let him start going into like a 4 or 5-1 lead because that would be bad for morale. So I'm really gonna have to up my game and try and iron out some mistakes. Piss easy WOD this month, so hopefully it means we will see enough instances of you having to play quickly. Well, if that's the case, then I will make the same preparations as I did for that run back in 2017. I will play Violence, I will practice the shit out of it, and I will speed through. I'm hoping, though, I won't have to do that, and maybe Mutt will die early and I can just get a nice squeaky clean win. But unfortunately, I don't see that in Mutt's game anymore. I think that, although he's a busy man, he is still competent enough probably to not make those kind of mistakes anymore. But I don't know. Anything can happen, right? But we will see. So, yeah, that's where we stand. I need to really pull back next month and really try and get ahead because it's in the entire history of competing against him. I don't think at any point I've actually ever been ahead of him. I think I've tied with him. I've had to pull back a decimate, but I don't think I've ever led him. It'd be nice to like rack up 3 wins in a row and make him sweat for a change, you know. Gotta really start being a bit more serious about this if I want to make it an interesting contest, or else this could be over by summer. You know, it only takes 7 wins. It's early days-ish, but it's the nature of the defeats that bugs me. In Alien Vendetta, I lost due to a mistake of judgment. I lost in World Orifice because again I wasn't patient enough. The Sawdust one, fair enough, that was completely blind. That doesn't really count for anything. And the only time I've won is when I practiced miasma and criticality. You know, I thought that maybe that would work for last month, but it didn't. But World Orifice is a very unique kind of experience. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I may have to wait most of the month to get a chance to do my run. I may have to practice before then and just anticipate that he's going to put in a performance that will require me to speedrun again. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes anyway. But at least it would be nice to play something that isn't obscenely difficult for a month. And I guess there is also the Iron Eagle as well, which is, interestingly enough, it came out also on the first day, so it's nice to see both DT and Pegleg get out their iron thingies on the first of the month, which is nice. This one is Tangerine Nightmare, which I'm pretty sure I've seen it quite a few times. It's the French maps. Yeah, it's a French map set, which I think got a runner-up in the CAC Awards or won one. I don't know. I know it's quite good, I believe. Oh, yeah, Eagles, it's whatever. Well, you know, I still enjoy doing the Iron Eagle. It's always good PR boom practice, you know. For the few times I'm still going to need to use PR boom in the future, you know. Maybe when I delve into making a map later this year for the Maximum project, maybe for the few WODs on my list that will require PR boom to play. So I know it's not got as many. I know that the Iron Eagle doesn't have as much stakes as the Iron League does with this Uncle Bow contest, but I still enjoy the Iron Eagle for what it is. It's fun, and I like the Iron Mans. It's a nice way of playing Doom. You know, challenging yourself to live on only one life, and it's just a shame I'm very terrible at it. So, you know, but I think I've put in enough I like to think that hopefully over the 30 previous Iron Eagles and the 6 years of Iron Mans, I've put in at least a few decent performances that have been entertaining to watch in them. It's just a nice little thing to play, you know. It's fun. So those are the Iron Mans for May. Violence and Tangerine Nightmare. So it should be fun to see those later in the month. Whenever that is. It depends on Mutt. Depends how quickly Mutt wants to get his run out. I mean, since Violence is short, he could probably do it any time he wants. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So, moving on. I'm just going to let you all know. Oh, need to get rid of this picture. Sorry. There we go. So, moving on. I will be playing. I don't know if Drowkin's here or not at the moment. He might be. But just to let you all know that within the next week-ish, because of its being a timed demo sort of thing, I will be playing the recently released demo of Resident Evil 8 Village, which recently, Capcom recently had a demo that is on Steam, which I've downloaded. I think it runs for about a week. And it's a 60-minute time demo where apparently you're free to explore 2 areas, including a village and a castle. And you have a 60-minute time limit to explore them. And I will be playing this demo at some point in the next couple of days. Probably sometime next week. So, I've played Resident Evil 7 before. Did I play Resident Evil? Oh no, I didn't. I didn't play Resident Evil 7 on here at all, did I? I just remembered that was a Dope Lips thing. So okay. Thank you. Thank you, Beast. So I'll be playing that. I've played Resident Evil 7 on Dope Whips. I know you've seen me on here play Resident Evil 1 and 2, the remake versions, and not have the best of time in either. But I did play Resident Evil 7 a few years ago, and although a few of the gripes about Resident Evil were still present for me, I actually liked Resident Evil 7. In fact, I found it to be one of the best of the games I've played. I mean, I played 4. 4 was okay. I liked 4. It was challenging, but I seem to remember that 4 was decent. I enjoyed 7. I had a few awkward things, but I did enjoy 7. 7 was quite nice too. And I guess I'll check out this demo just to see if it's any good. I mean, I'm not the biggest Resident Evil fan. I detest the gameplay of the classic style Resident Evil, but the modern stuff was a nice, the fact that you play in first person also helps, but I kind of liked it. So I don't know how many of you are interested in Resident Evil 8 Village, but it is a demo I'll be checking out, and who knows, maybe if I like the demo, maybe I'll acquire it and it'll be played around, I guess, Halloween or whenever the game is. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, I've got a lot to do as it is anyway, but it could end up being one of those games I play later down the line once I've finished my other game list. So, Resident Evil 8 demo will be played on this channel sometime next week. Should be fun to see how far I can get in 60 minutes. So yeah, there is that. Hey, Dino Maximo, how's it going? Good to see you. I'm just gonna change one of the points to a different time slot on here for a moment. How you doing? And speaking of sort of the other games on my... Wow, I'm going to be done with this fucking sweet state in an hour at this rate. Oh well, so be it, I suppose. As I say that, and then it'll be like about an hour and a half later, and I'll be... That's how it always starts. I always think the sweet states are going to be like over in like 40 minutes to an hour, and then an hour later I'm still at the very tail end. I should really stop doing that. Just need to load up something here for a moment. Sorry, I'm just trying to load up a little document here, which I should have loaded beforehand, but do bear with me. Yeah, I'll get 674 questions at the end. And only some of them will be from... Well, I'd say that, but I haven't seen David Irving in a bit. I don't know he's still around. Maybe he'll show up and ask me questions when I'm not wearing my mustard jumper again. So yeah, speaking of other games, I am actually... Oh, I know he's around. I know that. It's just... I am actually starting to run out of other games to play. Well, let me clarify that, because if you look down on my list, I've got quite a few left. To say that at this moment in time, I am starting to run out of games I can actually play, is what I mean to say, from the list that I have. I mean, I'm quite pleased that I've actually managed to get through quite a good chunk of this list so far in this year. I managed to get through Suitepee and Kingpin in the last few weeks. It's nice. But looking at the list at the moment, I'm actually starting to very slowly get to the beginning of the end. But with the current list that I have, there's actually a few games I can't actually play at the moment. For example, if you look at Drauken's list, you think there's quite a lot of games on there, but actually, I can't play Maximum Action or Wrath because they haven't fully released yet. I'm still waiting for both of those games to have a fully released 1.0 with the whole game. As soon as either of them do that, I will be playing them. I know that Wrath is getting content updates. I have not really been keeping a track on Maximum Action, so I don't know where that's at. So I'm not playing any of those, and that's a rule I have with any early access game. But I play as another game, I will not play it until I see it is fully completed and ready to play. Having been burned quite a few times in the past with episodic shitty releases, it's like, nah, I'll play a game when you've finished it, and I can play it all in one nice go. Which is the same reason why I'll be waiting for Proteus to hit 1.0. It's the same reason I'll probably be waiting for Nightmare Reaper to hit 1.0. And with the same reason why I will wait for any other game that does that in the future to hit 1.0. Fully released version, all content available, then I can play it in one go. I'm not one of these that buys into an early access and then plays it gradually over time. I like to have my game ready to, all the content and stuff. So I can't play either of those games. And the Saints Row games, I can't play any of those, all because I am waiting on this patch for Saints Row 2, which apparently fixes the game or something on PC. Because apparently the PC version of Saints Row 2 is a bit of a mess. And Drauken tells me that he's waiting for this, to wait on this patch that will fix a lot of cool things in the game. So I can't play the Saints Row series, obviously, until I've played the second one. So I can't play any of those. So the only games left on Drauken's list are essentially The Letter, and that I can play at the moment, that is, are The Letter and Zero Escape, the Nunnery games, which is a series of games. And I can't play Zero Escape until I finish Danganronpa V3 on Dope Lives, which is what I'm going to try and finish this month. I've kind of slacked on that front. I've not played it for several weeks. And I don't want to be playing two different Spike Chunsoft games on different channels. So on Drauken's list at the moment, I only have 2 games I can actually play. And then on the other list, Dragon Quest Heroes 2 is dependent on Lord Misfit being available for occasional co-op sessions. Not all of them, I understand, but I know you want to be around for at least 1 or 2. Final Fantasy 9 I'll be saving for the summer if I'm not stressing out over a job. Yeah, UN Serious Kakadium. So again, it's going to require some planning. But hopefully in the summer, if I have a job and I don't have to worry about that, hopefully over the summer I'll be playing Final Fantasy 9. That's still the plan at the moment. Because obviously Final Fantasy 9 will take a long time to plate. And I'm going to have to spread it out quite nicely. The Robinson's Requiem Collection I'll be playing next, which is 2 games, which might end very quickly because they're apparently really awkward and hard, but we'll see how they pan out, I suppose. Yes, alright, I made a slight error, boo-hoo. And then there's Sin Gold, which I guess I could play that whenever. So currently at the moment, I only have 6 games I can actually play. And even then, after that, I only have 6 more left to play, so I'm down to 12. So it's kind of nice to see that list start to shrink, The list that previously has been huge and overbearing is now starting to come down quite a bit. Okay, yeah, that's it. So essentially, I can only play 5 games at the moment, and 7 I have to wait on. So, as I said, I'm starting to run out of games to play for the time being, at least, which is great. Um, so what will happen if we get to a scenario where I know at the moment I'm sort of doing this thing where I'm playing a Doom thing, switching to another game, and back and forth in quite a bit. If it gets down to the point that I've run out of games to play and I have to wait for like a full release, like say like I finish Robinsons and then play some other stuff, and it gets to like July or June, and I'm running out of games, or August, September, whatever, and I'm waiting for like 5 games to be ready. Then what I'll be doing is basically I'll just be playing more Doom stuff. I know it's so if I have to wait for other games, I'll simply just be playing a lot more Doom stuff until something releases. And there'll be occasional other releases that will come out, of course. In Sound Mind, I'll be playing as soon as that releases. Actually, I think that's the only one at the moment that I have that I will definitely be playing as soon as it releases. There is another one, but I don't know if I'm as infused. What the fuck? Whoa. Death to Revenants. Oh god. That's a lot of money there, Goofy. Thanks for the $138.17 PayPal donation, which is the single largest PayPal donation I have ever received. Holy crap. That is like a lot of fucking money. I hope you can afford that. Oh, £100. Ah, yeah, of course, with the conversion rate. Wow, holy shit. That's a lot, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. No refunds, mine now. But wow, thanks so very much. That's essentially, well, that's essentially how much I get off Twitch. Well, Goofy, with this donation, that's how much I get off Twitch every month. On average, of course. It's sometimes a bit less, sometimes a little bit more. That's how much I get on average of Twitch every month. So basically, I can retire after this stream and not do anything for May. And I can goof off and play other video games. So thanks, Goofy. I can now not provide content for the month. Sweet bliss. I wish I had that very old animation takeabreak.exe from Strongbad, but can't use it. Okay, fine. I won't be stopping the content, but I am a bit overwhelmed that you gave that much. But I hope that no. But thanks very much, Goofy. I appreciate that. It really does help. I mean, I will definitely be. Holy shit! I mean to come away. But yeah, thanks very much. I hope that you had plenty of money to spare to make that kind of donation. Obviously, I want to make sure if people are donating quite big amounts that they are able to afford it first, for obvious reasons. Actually, let me just check something real quick for that. Just give me a moment. So I just need to plug something in there. Oh, right, okay, fair enough. That's fine. That's good. I mean, I don't want to be one of those people that like I can't use the terminology I want to use because it's banned on Twitch, but you get the gist. I'll use it. I'll try to use acceptable terminology, words that are appropriate for Twitch. I don't want to be one of those people that has other members of the community give them donations that they can't afford for this, that kind of thing. Like, that is a significant amount of dosh to hand over, even if it's saved, jump on a banana in a hot tub. Fortunately, there is one problem to that, and that is I don't have a hot tub. I do have a banana, but I'm not very hungry right now. I've eaten like 50 minutes ago, so I'm not actually hungry. But thank you very much. Anyway, oh crap! I'm walked into the wrong. Never. Oh fuck it! I've walked into the wrong account. Fuck. Sorry, I'm just taking care of something, and I probably should have just. Fuck it! I don't need to log into that account. It's the other one I need to log into. Sorry, just slightly derping out. Bear with me. For some reason, it is popular. Had 3 streams recommended to me. Oh, you talking about my stream, Goofy? Whoops, that's not the one I want. Oh, where is it? Ah, bloody hell, got the wrong thing open. Sorry, everyone, I'm just kind of screeching this to a screeching halt because I need to... Oh, fucking hell. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, okay, fine. Send the confirmation code to my phone. Thanks. Everything is like log in via the confirmation codes these days, isn't it? You know, the 2-factor authentication and stuff like that. Right, let's have a look here. Oh, okay. Wow, they took a bit of more cut than I thought. Well, just check the activity for you. I'm just checking something because I do have a bit of stuff in there that was previous anyway. Hey, database error. How you doing? Okay, cool. Wow. So I actually have quite a bit. I can actually bring that to my main account. It's kind of nice. Awesome. Yeah. So just to sort of clarify for you, Goofy, I appreciate the fact that you intended to send that as £100. I'm just letting you know for future reference that it ended up being £94.80, but that doesn't matter. That's a moot point. I think that's PayPal taking a cut out of stuff like that, which they do. Fair enough. It's how they make money after all. But regardless, holy shit, that was like the biggest PayPal donation I've ever received. That is insane. And the fact that you've saved that up is like really nice of you, and it really incentivizes me to continue doing this stream. It really does, you know. Hey, Cridoxy, how you doing? So maybe I should transfer that to my main account. Yeah, sure. It's enough money to swing it over. So you're teasing me. You're teasing me. Yeah, okay, shush. I've already got it. Phone, stop being derpy. How much is it? Oops, that's not it. Sorry, I'm just taking care of business on the thing. I don't have a hot tub, so I can't really say. That's it. Oh, man. We'll always have the Wii stream. Sorry, I know I'm sort of run us to a hole, but I'm taking care of something, so need to just... Yes. Okay, excellent. Wow, that's really handy, actually. Yay, good shit. Hopefully I'll receive that. Alright, okay. I didn't realize that I had... Oh, whatever. I'll leave that where it is for now. All good. Right, I'll deal with the rest of that later. It's no problem. Right, anyway. Back on the topic. You've been around since the Dogwood days, have you, Goofy? Or did you watch the recent upload? Because that's the only reason you referenced that is either you were either been a Dope Whiz regular for a while, or you saw the recent archive video on my channel. But damn. What was I talking about again? Other games, wasn't I? Yeah, that was it. Other games. Crazy. Oh right, the YouTube stuff. Yeah, of course. Yeah, fair enough, Goofy. Obviously, I say that because I know that I do have a few long-time Dope Whiz people who have followed my account for years, and so they do come by the streams every so often. And so obviously, I'm still in touch with that community, that great community. So you know, it's all good. Oh, looks like Nadel's doing a stream right now. It's cool. On the channel, always nice. Sorry, I'm just getting things up. Wii Fit yoga streams. I don't have my Wii anymore. I think we got rid of the Wii a few years back. I think when we moved here, to be honest. Actually, wait. No, I don't think we got rid of the Wii, but we don't use it anymore. And nowadays, you know, we have VR sets, so you can go one better than the Wii. You can play some Beat Saber in VR, but I need the room to do that. That will be in the future. Not that I'm that invested with. Well, who knows, Goofy? Who knows what may happen in the future? I mean, it's going to be a lot more different once I have no lists to deal with and I can play things at a steadier pace. I might start doing a lot more experimental stream things. You know, kind of like how I used to do. But make money and work out at the same time. Okay. I'd have to be careful if I started doing that, though, Goofy, of course. Because I'm not really trying to go for that bracket. But anything can happen in the future. You know, I might need money more badly, and then things would get desperate. I may have to start doing the Wii Fit streams, selling my body out to desperate a dozen and a half people. Yeah, it's like it's Wii Fit is a way of exercising with, you know, fooling yourself into thinking you're doing exercise. But yeah, it's good stuff. So yeah, gotta have the mustard jump on Bobo. The Speedo? Oh no, man, I don't have a Speedo. So that would have to be arranged, wouldn't it? Yeah, certainly. So anyway, other games. If I run out of them, I will play more Doom stuff. So, you know, for some of you, that'll be a nice thing. You won't have to see other games. It'll just be Doom, 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 Doom all the time. You know, lots more Doom. It's not like I have a shortage of things to play, even with including stuff not on the list that may come out later this year. Doom, yes. Other games, depends on the game. I know that's how it works, but what? I don't want to just play Doom all the time. But I am aware that I need to play a lot of Doom because, you know, I enjoy playing it. But I've got the nice balance now, Kudoxi. I've got the nice balance going. I want to keep that up if I can. You know, plenty of things to do. So yeah, it's all good stuff. And I suppose, speaking of sorry, thank you, Lord Misfit. I will be playing I have mute set to a bind key. That's how. For obvious reasons. Oh. Professional stream, by the way. Hey, Bemuse's back. Cool. I can switch my topics around now a little bit. Actually, no, I should turn your numwalk back on. It's only been muted for a few seconds. Calm down. But, yeah, what should I talk about next? Okay, well, I guess since we are talking about Doom, I'll try and segue onto the Doom-related thing. So, obviously I do my playtest stream. Maybe if any new FPS drop, compare and contrast new versus Doom P-words. I don't know if I'd be able to do that very effectively, to be honest. That's probably best left to more keenly analytical minds, to be honest, Goofy. I'm just here to have fun. But I'm going to try a new thing for the future sort of playtest streams as such. Obviously, I do playtesting once a month at least. Yeah. And the playtesting streams are pretty fun, of course. I mean, I think a lot of you do like the playtesting streams. It's nice to give people who may not receive a lot of feedback, or sometimes even if they do, just to give them an extra bit of feedback, a bit of chance to be run through the gauntlet of quite a few other mappers and people in the community, and myself, I guess. I want to kind of put a new rule into place, one for me, for future playtesting of WODs and stuff. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong in the way that I analyze and criticize and provide feedback to what I've done so far, but I just feel that perhaps I could do a little better just to make sure I stay on task with that kind of thing, because I know that sometimes I play a WOD and I don't have a lot to say about it. And then sometimes if it's something that bugs me, I say a lot of, negative things about it. Like that guy's mod, the Waver, the other time. I felt that maybe I was a tad harsh on them, even though I did have legitimate points, I think. So the new sort of rule I'm going to stick on to myself a little bit is for each of the WODs that I play from now on, at the end of the test session when I finish them, I'm going to try and make sure that I provide one positive thing about it, one negative thing, if any exist, and one thing maybe to improve as a sort of a general sort of rule of sorts, unless I feel there isn't any of, just something to make sure that at least I do one of those. So I'm not just saying like this WOD is bad, or this thing is just completely great, or there's nothing I can sort of constructively add to it. So, I mean, I know from the past I'm usually quite good at making sure I do that. I just want to kind of put this rule in place for myself to make sure that I don't slip, But I am trying to be encouraging, because that's what I'm trying to really do at the end of the day. Yes, I can be harsh sometimes, but I am really trying to improve, at least from my opinion and my viewpoint. I'm trying to improve and give feedback to these mappers so they can come out with better things, I don't really want to discourage a mapper from mapping in Doom just because I don't like the map set. I am only one opinion. It is not the well-versed opinion. I mean, I've played Doom for a while, but I don't have the experience of, say, Jimmy or Bridgeburner, people who have played and created their own stuff, so they can provide much more in-depth technical feedback to... By the way, did I forget to mention that Jimmy is playtesting now? Everyone's fucking playtesting now. Like, fucking everyone. It used to be it was just me. And now everyone's doing it. Everyone's playtesting. All the time. I've lost my USP. I can't be known as just the playtest guy anymore. I've been I mean, I can't compete with the Jimmy. I can't compete with the Bitch Burners. I can't compete with that. It's like, no. My one ticket to fame and glory and hot smoking cigars is gone. Kind of thing. Over what's mine. I'm just kidding, of course. Obviously, it's great that one more people are playtesting WODs by people. It's great to see. But it does make me acutely aware that sometimes my feedback could be a little better, or at least just a little bit. So I don't know if any of you agree with this rule I've set upon myself. I mean, am I sort of reasonably fair to when I do these playtest things? Yeah, that's true. I can only start my OnlyFans account. I'm still seriously considering making an OnlyFans account if it requires some. If I don't have to really give like you know, maybe as an experiment, like I make an OnlyFans account, but then I don't treat it like OnlyFans. I just basically stream on there and see what happens. That might be a fun experiment I might do sometime. But I'll have to see what is required, of course. But yeah, like, is there anything? Do you think that's right fair for the playtesting stuff? Like, I'm sure some of you have watched me do playtests in the past few years. Well, I usually try to be sort of fair, but I just want to make sure I continue to do that. So there's always at least one positive that I can give the map set, and maybe sometimes a negative point if there is one, and then something to improve if I can think of something. Don't all answer at once, you know? In essence, I'm looking for feedback on my feedback of people's WODs. Yes. It's tough to be subjective when you're playing and trying not to die, so just catch your breath and then answer your 3 points. I mean, I usually sort of sum up the WOD or mod at the end, although I will say things throughout if I catch them, you know. I mean, sometimes I'd sort of at the end. I mean, the general rule, one of the things I do know, as I've said a few times, is that if I'm playing your WOD and I'm not saying much about it and I'm just having fun, consider that to be a positive, because I'm usually more akin to picking out the negative stuff rather than praising the positive. I think that might be considered a human trait in general, but, you know, it's okay unless you get tilted, like I remember happening with that Alfredo map. It's okay unless you get tilted. Well, yeah, but that's a problem in general, to be fair, but I see your point. That's why I'm trying to get better at catching me when I get tilted and like stopping for a moment. I mean, I was doing quite well I was doing really on top of that a month ago. I've sort of slipped a little bit, but I have changed a few of my little behavioural tweaks just on this platform, of course. But yes, I'd agree that if I get tilted, that although picking positives is good, but word that WOD in question. Picking out flaws in something isn't the same as bashing something needlessly, but that seems to be a rare occurrence in fairness. Yeah, I usually... I know that looking very vaguely over my history, I know that even when I've sort of been a little tilted, I usually try to say something positive about a WOD, even when I'm a bit angry or whatever. You know, I generally try to remain constructive as best I can. I just want to kind of put this general rule so I'm not just like playing a WOD and then saying nothing about it necessarily. Oh, with regard to... Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not just bashing something needlessly, because I know I occasionally do that, but I'm usually trying to... You know, I might instinctively bash it at the moment, but I'll try to be more analytical afterwards. Hey, okay, Toba, how you doing? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're all having a good bank holiday weekend so far. If you do indeed celebrate bank holiday, by the way. But yeah, I generally think I'm doing okay with that regard. I'm not going to go, it's not going to be another one of the, oh god, my rage is too much scenario. I've sort of passed that hurdle. I know that my rage isn't as bad as I think. And I don't think my playtesting analysis is as bad as I think either. I just want to make sure that doesn't slip, you know. Especially now that there's a lot more people playtesting, there are, you know, more options for people, you know. I want to make sure I'm doing an okay job at my end, kind of thing, you know. So that's the rule I'm going to try and have. I've got to mention at least one positive, one negative, and one thing to improve. So, non-PP. Are you going to briefly address... I'm going to segue onto that in a minute. I was just waiting for the right time, which is almost upon us. But yeah, that's the new rule I'm going to have, and I'm thankfully that person, somebody, I've got one of my WODs for this month's playtests already ready to go. I'm looking forward to doing more playtesting this month, of course, and I still will continue with my pledge to do at least one playtest session a month. And maybe in the future, when I have a few less lists, might be more than one a month. It varies, you know. I really do enjoy the playtesting stuff. You should get my Doom project, which you checked out after Christmas, to be playtested soon. I returned to this recently. Well, we'll see. Okay, Tova, we'll see. What do you mean this map has too many archvowels and pain elementals? Well, your map has too many archvowels and pain elementals. Go back and add more revenants. I can't live without hating revenants every 5 seconds. You know it fucking works, Godoxy. Come on. Right. What the hell? Now we are talking. Yes. There you go. Your smug emotes. So, let me just close this list off. So, with, I guess in 128, Room 1 Archie is way too much. It really depends on how you do it. I mean, while the Archvow is a incredibly dangerous and annoying opponent, it does also allow for a certain degree of, you know, gameplay design counter flexibility due to the fact that it's got a timed, a delayed hit scan attack. You can do things with an Archvile by itself, and as an opening that you can't do with, say, like several chain gunners, for instance. You know, because essentially in a one-on-one scenario, you just have to stay behind cover to avoid the Archvile's attacks. You don't have any direct projectiles to deal with. So that's why the Archvile is an interesting enemy in Doom in general. It's got a lot of complexities to it. You know. So a Room 1 Archvile could definitely work as long as you design the map well around that kind of thing. Like, for example, you could have an opening where you have an Archvile coming at you, you pick up a Berserk, and you have to punch it to death in the first room. You know, with a few pillars around that you use to duck for cover. You know, that could be an interesting way to open a map, you know. Give the player Berserk, there's an Archvile coming at them, they have enough time to assess the situation, they can duck behind one of the cover they can see, and you can have a nice little Tyson-esque start. You couldn't do that with, say, it would be different if it was like a Baron. You could do it with a Baron, sure, but it wouldn't have the same sort of intrigue, I guess, or whatever. Annoying. 2 Barons. Yeah, okay, maybe your ward. And a Vial. 2 Hell Knights, you mean? Yeah. Enough space for Archie and Doom Guy to hug. It all depends on how well you design the fight. And that's always the main thing to consider as a mapper, designing your fights so that they play well. So anyway, moving on to World Misfits' point, which actually coincides with the very last sort of point I was wanting to make, about the zero tolerance policy for certain things. Especially now that Bemuse is here. So, yeah. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about this, obviously. But all I'm going to say in this regard is very simply, I am no longer going to tolerate certain immature idiots and immature people in the future. No, you're not going to get banned. Calm yourselves down. No, you're not going to get banned either, Scotty. Okay, maybe immature is the wrong choice of words. How about I'm no longer going to tolerate trolling idiots? There we go. You know the type of person I mean. You know. I think it goes without saying you all know who I'm... You can guess the kind of things I mean. I'm not going to have to state them explicitly. But I suppose there is one thing you can be cheeky. You know, I mean, to be clear, evil clowns are funny. You heard from Dave about one of said people. As have I. So... most 99% of the people in my community are very sensible enough people. Yes, you poke fun at me when I deserve it, but you never go over the line. So for most of you, this simply just won't apply. Probably at the moment, as far as I'm aware, all of you currently within the community, this doesn't apply to you, because most of you are sensible enough people to not be complete and utter dickheads, in short. Yes. Targeted harassment is not the same. That's a good way of putting it, actually, Bemuse. Targeted harassment is not the same as light-hearted shitposting. There is a difference. Pure and simple. In the past, I will admit, I have had more tolerance for this kind of stuff. However, I've been streaming for 11 years. Is it 11 years? Yeah, we'll go 11 years. It'll be 12 in autumn, technically. You know, I mean, I just can't be arsed anymore, you know. Thanks to the 25 bits worth Misfit. I cannot be bothered to deal with it anymore, you know. I know that I'm an old-fashioned streamer. I have come from a previous... Okay, hydrate, fine. Thanks, G411. I have come from the old side of the internet when people would troll each other quite a bit and say some stupid shit. I get that. But I can't be arsed tolerating it anymore. Pure and simple. And thus there will be no more tolerance of it, you know. I've been far too lenient with a few individuals, no longer. And that will go for anyone else in the future. So, what I'm saying, in short, is don't be a dickhead and you will be fine on this channel. But if you act like a dickhead... you're gone. I don't want you here. And that's it. And now that I have my moderation team firmly in place, this is going to be enforced quite strictly. And on that regard, but just to mention, by the way, that Bridgeburner is going to remain my fourth moderator for the time being. I know last month I said I was on the search for a fourth mod, but I've decided to keep Bridge on as the fourth mod. So the current moderation team is Bemused, Tourniquet, YugiBoy85, and Bridgeburner. All healthy, sensible regulars. So, yeah. I may have need for more in the future, if there is any significant channel growth. Who knows what may happen. But yeah, basically, I'm just not going to tolerate it. So you know what not to say. You know to be sensible. So, as I said, for most of you, this simply just will not apply. Simple as that. And for those that want to try it, you'll be gone very quickly. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Pure and simple. And so we move on to... Oh, that's all the points I wanted to cover. So at this point, I throw open the floor to any questions from the audience. So if there are any questions that you want to ask me, and now is the time. So any questions at all, anything you can think of, whatever it is, then feel free to ask me right now, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. And we'll see what rabbit hole I end up this time on. Almost GG. We gotta see what questions come up first. John, why am I cursed to support Derby? Oh no, you support Derby County? Oh my fucking god. I thought we'd got through sad, pitiful football fans with that other guy. Oh my god, Scotty, Oh, good grief. Oh, I better not tell you, Scotty, that I've had quite a few laughs at your team's expense this year. I don't know the answer to that, bemused. I don't. I'm not very good at maths. That kind of maths, anyway. Oh my god, why are you cursed to support Derby? The reason is because you probably grew up with them. It's like all football teams. It was described as I think it was a TalkSport pundit, maybe. You said it's like a relationship. You grow up for a localish area. One of your family brings you on a couple of games, and then you end up, supporting them for life. And it's like a long-term relationship that you can't get out of. I grew up in the north. I could have ended up supporting Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Everton, and I ended up supporting Preston. And I don't regret it. No, Derby is Derby County. They are a team in the Championship, the second division of English football. Although, given recent results, they might be in the third division of English football if results don't go their way next week. But yeah, Derby made some very bad decisions, like having a gambling firm as their sponsor and hiring Wayne Rooney to be a player, then a coach. They basically, I've sort of called them the gamblers. They gambled on a long-term future, and instead they might be in League One next season. Yeah. You're not relegated yet. All you have to do is avoid defeat. Oh wait, hang on. Well, okay, you have to all you have to do is beat Sheffield Wednesday next week and hope that Rotherham don't win their game in hand. Because if Rotherham win their game in hand, you're going to have to win next week. But if they lose, then you can draw, and you'll have the advantage there. So it should be interesting. I'm kind of interested to see it, actually. I'm kind of glad that you have that final day drama, because I was getting a bit bored of all these football things being tied up. The playoffs are sorted. The relegation is looked like it was sorted. In the Premier League it's all sorted, and the relegation spots are sorted. And now it's like, oh boy, a final day game between Derby and Sheffield Wednesday to potentially decide who doesn't get bombed down to League One next season. How exciting. All you have to do, it's even worse than the 11-point season. Well, at least it's kind of in your own hands. It's not like you have to rely on other results. All you have to do is beat one team and you'd be fine. I think. I don't actually know. I'd have to check the permutations on goal difference. Or I checked the BBC Sport website. Oh, look, Chelsea are beating Fulham. What a shocking turn of events. Ooh, spooky. Let me just look up, just pick a random result. So the table we want. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, Scotty! Oh no! I didn't realise Rotherham had a better goal difference than you. Oh god! If they win, you can't even win. Oh, never mind. Well, they have to play Cardiff. They have to play Luton and Cardiff. Okay, you probably will be fine, to be honest. One of those two teams will probably beat Rotherham, so you'll be fine. But oh crap! I just realised. Oh my god! I didn't realise it was that interesting. I mean, Wickham are relegated, definitely. They're not going anywhere. But holy crap, it is tight. You need Luton to do you a favour in the midweek, and then that way a draw will be enough for you against Sheffield Wednesday. Oh god, that's oh my god. Sorry, I shouldn't really laugh that much, but you know. But yeah, I mean, basically, my suggestion would be to get rid of Wayne Rooney as fast as possible because he hasn't done you any fucking good. Your owners have just gambled and really haven't really been sensible. You know, they gambled on a long-term future, and you've got all these sort of gritty veteran championship players, but it just hasn't clicked for you this season. You need to sort of cut your losses, sort of start a bit of a rebuild of sorts, and get back in there, you know. That's all I could say. But, you know, makes for an interesting last day of the season at least. And then there's the playoffs. I'm looking forward to those too. Right, sorry. On a football, I don't worry. I know some of you have answered questions. I will get to those, but you know, it's been so long since I've been able to discuss football with a sensible human being. Yeah, I mean, as I said, you know, your owners basically gambled that you would be not where you are now, and it didn't work for them. You know, you gambled on Wayne Rooney, and you know, you had a massive deficit. So it's a sad shame, but that's how it happens with a lot of football clubs. You know, they get owners, they spend stupid amounts of money, they don't go where they're supposed to go. Then when things turn bad, suddenly the debt piles up, and the next minute, you know, you're in League Two and you're possibly going into administration, you know. And that's a kind of curse that's affecting football in general. Like, there's so many irresponsible owners trying to compete by spending shitloads of money. They don't get there, then they pull out. The owners take no real risk because they're rich, but the club does. And it's just fucking terrible, you know. The absolute state of football. I mean, hell, my own club a decade plus ago were also heading down that road a little bit in terms of the finances until we got an owner that was sensible, you know, in Trevor Hemmings. You know, the North End faithful could complain about Trevor Hemmings being tight-fisted and not spending $2 million on a striker, but the bottom line is North End have one of the healthiest financial sheets in the division and aren't looking to be chucked into the abyss anytime soon. You know, a lot of clubs in the Championship are running up these stupid debts that one day will come back to bite them in the arse. You know, they're in the red. I'm pretty sure I saw a report, but I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, where only 3 clubs in the Championship were financially in the black, whereas every other club deficit, massive deficit, even with parachute payments, which I think should be abolished entirely. They were never a good idea. You'd be rewarded for fucking failing. And then you wonder why the Championship has so much money in it. All these clubs have shitloads of cash and keep all the good players when they flop out. You know, there's a big problem with football. You've seen the likes of Bury, who fell into administration and disappeared. You're gonna in other clubs in the last decade. That's gonna happen with a lot more clubs. And quite frankly, Scotty, I could see it happening to Derby County if they get relegated a few times. I could see them falling into that trap of owners having spent a shitload of money, doesn't pay out. You get a succession of crappy managers. You fall through divisions. They pull out. You end up bankrupt, and you have to file, and you're gone. And that's Derby disappears in a decade. It's a really sad state of football, but that's the way it's going. Right, on to the other questions. Let's see. Q&A without the A. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't know the answer to a long maths question. Mayo asked me a very personal question. How come you have no Doom posters to hang up on the wall whatsoever? I should probably fix that at some point, database, to be honest with you. I really should. I should get like a Doom poster or something. Maybe I will do that when I get my own place, I mean, I could do that now, but at the moment I kind of want to save my money for the future. But in the future, trust me, you'll see me, if I ever get to a comfortable level of finance, you'll see me with some Doom shit. Don't worry. There'll be at least one Doom poster I'll acquire. So you won't have to worry about that in the future. Hey, thank you, Database Error, for the 100 bits. Doom poster savings. Yeah. You could show your worth to id by purchasing the unicorn skins for Doom Eternal. I already have the unicorn skin. I got it with Twitchy Prime or whatever at the time. Hell, I think in fact, I played Doom Eternal with a unicorn skin. Remember, I had the little star thing, with the hook. So I played it with the unicorn skin. It was hilarious. I had the experience in a sense. Here I am, Doom Eternal, big release, and I played it with the unicorn skin. It was great. Huh. But, Goofy asked a question as well. Have you thought about having play testing shared between two testers? Get a second opinion if the map maker is up for it. What, like a cooperative playtest stream? That's an interesting idea. One then the other. What, you mean two people play, you mean like a multi-stream co-op thing where one person plays the map and then someone else after? That's a thing, I guess. It's an idea. I mean, to be fair, it depends if the map set is like, if it's not going to be a long map set, then it could be doable if it was short. But I'd have to find someone willing to I'd have to find someone who streams and is then willing to do that. But that's not a bad idea, Goofy. I'll have to look into that. I know you all want me to do a bit more co-op, co-commentary stuff. That's why I did the Orcs Must Die 2 with Pineapple, which was great fun. Wouldn't mind doing that every so often. I know it can be a bit socially awkward, but I am trying to get better at that. I know you've all been crying out for that kind of thing. Lower league football. So I'll look into that idea. I'll make a note of that actually. So co-op play testing. Maybe I'm gonna make a note of that. No, it's going. No, spell the name right, you idiot. There we go. I'll put that as a little. Oh, whoops, I deleted it, but it's fine, whatever. Sunday co-op. You could make clickbait video of YouTube in survival co-op. Whoever tries first drinks a hot sauce bottle. Ketchup or pineapples on pizza? Pineapple's probably slightly better. Good oxy. What about a stream where the audience suggests puzzle games? Neox, we've been over this. I'm going to play Mole Mania at some point in the future. You gave me $20 for it like a while ago. You didn't have to, but you did. And I said, look, I'll play Mole Mania in the future when I don't have all these other games to play. Okay? Fucking Neox. How are you... The only reason I'm playing it at this point is I just want to see what your deal is when someone actually beats it. Like, if someone plays Mole Mania, beats the game, I'm going to see what you do next. I want to see if you, like, reveal yourself to be, like, some kind of 11-year-long little op or something. It's like, aha! Someone has finally played it. I'm the developer of Mole Mania or something. So, I'm doing it just out of curiosity. But yes, a stream where people suggest puzzle games. Ooh. Anyway, how you doing, Neox? Hope you're having a good bank holiday weekend, too. So, yeah. Is there any other questions I missed during the football rant? Or do 3D posters, World League Football? Nope, I haven't. It's more information than I required. Doing good, great to see you. There is a super relaxing puzzle game course. No, it is not super relaxing. I've played Super Hexagon. I couldn't get past the first fucking level. It is not relaxing. It is extremely difficult. I mean, if there is a puzzle game I might want to play in the future, I mean, I don't really get into puzzle games a lot, but I think if there's one I'd maybe want to check out, maybe it would be, off the top of my head, I think The Witness is supposed to be a good one. Like the one where you solve a massive bunch of mini games and your perspective changes a little bit over time. That's supposed to be a good one. The Witness. I mean, the last one I played I really remember enjoying was the Talos Principle, which was a fantastic puzzle game with a great story to it. More games like that would be wonderful. Tetris Effect is quite good. Never heard of Tetris Effect, actually. What about trying to play... Oh, geez, no. Two-Who game series. Bullet Hell. No thanks. I would be terrible. I tried to play Perfect Cherry Blossom once about 10 years ago, and good grief. I just could not handle it after a few minutes. But I get the idea. You could sort of learn how to deal with it, but good God. Like, playing Two-Who requires a lot of dedication to actually beat. Oh, you should definitely play Talos Principle, Neox. It's a fantastic... The puzzle game is pretty good anyway, but it has a fucking awesome story. Like, it's been, like, several years since I've played it. I loved the story of the Talos Principle. It was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. It was well executed. Brilliant. You know, such a good game. That's why I wanted a sequel. But I don't think they're going to come out with a sequel. They're too busy making fucking Serious Sam shit. But maybe they don't have to bother with a sequel. Maybe they should just leave it and just never bother. Well, yeah, I mean, Talos Principle has some good puzzles anyway. The story just really makes it. Yeah, the DLC was stupidly hard. I actually, in my playthrough a few years ago, I couldn't be arsed with the DLC. It was too hard. Like, you got some cool stuff from it, but I was satisfied with the main game. The DLC is like, way too hard. No, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. You know. There were some hard enough puzzles in the main game, but the DLC is like, whoosh. Really extreme stuff. But one of the most memorable games I've ever played. Actually gave me part of my life philosophy. After playing it, the whole idea of passing on your knowledge to future generations so that they can appreciate it kind of thing, you know. Really cool, philosophically thinking game. I'd like to play a few more puzzle games that do that, actually. if they exist. Yeah, I think it's because DLCs tend to be like for people who have mastered the main game or want more of it but trickier or a different angle or something. Hey, Wild Tracer. It's a nice emote there. I had to hover over it to see what it actually was. Nix Skill Power. All made by the B Team. I mean, Fallout New Vegas had some good DLC. Bit hit and miss, but the third one, was it New Order Blues? The one with the science stuff was kind of nice. The wrap up, the fourth one that was like a wrap up of the story was okay. The Sierra Madre Vault was pretty good. And then there was that crappy one that was like a few hours long, set in Apache territory and didn't do much. But man, I wish I could play New Vegas again. That was such a good game. Really enjoyed that. So, yeah. Are there any other questions from you lovely guys, girls, and they in between? I refunded it 3 times without ever playing it. Whenever I buy New Vegas, something happens. Oh, New Vegas is like one of my... Did you ever play Sekiro? No. I have never played Sekiro. I have not played another Souls-like game. A 3D Souls-like game. Since Dark Souls back in 2012 or 2013. I have not actually played another Souls-like since. I would perhaps like to play another Souls-like someday, but I don't know if I would be able to handle it very well. There would be some difficulty, shall we say, if I try. I mean, to be fair, there was some difficulty when I played Dark Souls, but I also sort of made the second half of the game easy for myself because I followed a rough guide to get the Black Knight halberd weapon that made the game easier after a bit. But I really enjoyed the feeling of overcoming a difficult Dark Souls challenge. It was a very distinct experience of defeating a really tricky boss by memorizing attack patterns and finally beating it. But knowing how I am now, I would really struggle to play one of those kind of games today. But I won't rule out that I might try another one, just not Dark Souls 2. That game seems horrible. I've seen way too much footage of Dark Souls 2 to indicate it is crap, and I'm not touching it. Kingdom Come Deliverance. Don't know as much about that one. I mean, again, once I complete all the other current games, I am going to have a new system in place for the what I do with playing not Doom stuff in the future, which I think you'll all like when I do announce it. But there's not really a lot of I want to spit up my Steam. There's not really a lot of like modern-ish games that I'm that interested in, to some extent, to be honest. Not stuff that like I leap out the page and go, "Oh, I really need to play this." I mean, there's a couple of. So I was loading up Steam here to see what's on my thingy list. Wait, why is it saying World of Tanks is available? Hasn't World of Tanks been available? Oh, I guess it's available on Steam. Whatever. I think I played World of Tanks for like a few weeks back when it first came out. You used to love playing as that artillery unit, the SPD, I think it was called, where you just snipe shit from a mile away. And sometimes you died quickly, and sometimes you killed someone. That was fun. Right, going through my wish list, there's like, I'm interested in like Back for Blood. Whoa, how did I know you'd play as an Artie? Well, it was fun, you know. I mean, I really never really got the hang of the tank combat, and when and I thought I would try artillery out, and I kind of liked it. It was fun. I mean, sometimes you got rushed by a light tank and died. Sometimes you got sniped, and then it was fun. There was a lot of skill in it, of sorts. It was fun. I really genuinely enjoyed that, but I don't play those kind of games anymore. Yeah, the Left 4 Dead game, the one that's gonna have a beta in summer. I played the closed alpha a few months ago. Loved Back 4 Blood. It's essentially Left 4 Dead 3. They can't call it Left 4 Dead 3 because they can't. But it essentially is Left 4 Dead 3 of sorts. It's got a lot of cool parts to it, which has some potential. Yeah, it was delayed to October, but they're having a beta in the summer. So I'm going to play that. And Back 4 Blood looks amazingly fun. It's basically like they sort of it feels like they took a few assets from Evolve, the failure game from Turtle Rock, and they sort of built on that a little bit and went back to Left 4 Dead roots. And honestly, I'm surprised they didn't come to this conclusion a lot sooner because people still like Left 4 Dead type games, and there's not enough of them. It's all this 4 versus 1 competitive shit. I, for one, would like to see more Left 4 Dead type games. And Back 4 Blood looks amazing. Looks quite, from what I mean, gameplay balance was a bit off, but it was fun. And if they do it right, they'll be back in business. I've got a lot of games I'm waiting for full version. There's also the Halo collection. No, I've still got some if you're desperate to spend more points. You play Left 4 Dead for hours and hours, but B4B feels off for me from viewing. Fine, Criduxy, fine. There you go. Criduxy can waste the points instead. Yeah, I mean, it's an early version. We have to see, but I kind of like the idea of some of the things it did, like the fact that enemies didn't spawn behind you when you progressed through the level. You weren't under the constant threat of enemies spawning behind you, like happens in Left 4 Dead. It's like a slow, sort of gradual pace of marching forward, and the way the guns operated was nice. The whole corruption card roguelike element was kind of cool. It's kind of nice. Yeah, that was also a thing that they didn't really do from what I saw. I mean, the only really complaint I had for Back 4 Blood was the finale was awful, just plain awful in how it was executed. The finale's balance for the gameplay was absolutely terrible. I don't think, the ship thing, it was awful. It's just never-ending spam, and I think we beat it once in several attempts. It just feels really awkward and off. Like, you need to have like the perfect team synchronicity to get through it, and this is on normal difficulty. It just felt like it was just way off. Way too hard, a little difficult, but everything else was fine. You got used to the different enemy types, and you got used to the guns and the sort of coin system and the little roguelike little changes. It was kind of nice. It could be good. So I'm looking forward to see if they've improved on anything for the closed beta in summer. That'll be a fun little few weeks. Will I play Resident Evil Village when it releases? Well, as I said at the start of the stream, I will be playing the demo of Resident Evil Village next week at some point. So I will let you know after I've played the demo. I mean, the demo's going to have to really impress me because I'm not the biggest Resident Evil fan. So if it does, then maybe I'll play it. But we'll see. I mean, I like Resident Evil 7. And something like that, but with more would be cool. Would be fun. Dark Tide. Oh, okay. Dark Tide. Oh, Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide. Oh, of course, it's another game from Vermintide, which is the only other Left 4 Dead like that I'm aware of. The Vermintide, which I've never played. But, if I had the time, I'd actually give Vermintide a shot, but I've never had the time, really, and I don't have it now. Got 4 guys to play at the moment, anyway. But yeah, I mean, Left 4 Dead games were fun. I still enjoy playing those. What else is on my sort of other games I care about? There's the Halo collection, but that's like the collection of all the older games. I might play that someday, especially since I've played the Marathon trilogy. I can now appreciate that little element to it. So that might be something I'll play. There's In Sound Mind, which I will play. Oh, August 3rd. August the 3rd. I've not seen that release date before. I've not been keeping track of it fully, but I didn't realize it was going to be August. I thought maybe they'd delay to October. So I guess I'll be playing that on August the 3rd, whenever it comes out. If that sticks to the date, of course. And then other stuff as well. Empire of Sin. I'm not even check that out at all. But that was a thing. So I've not really got a lot of interest in a boatload of modern games. For me, mainly, it's kind of more a thing I would like to play a game in a series. Like, I'd like to beat a Grand Theft Auto game. I might want to play a Halo game. I might want to play and beat on stream a Tomb Raider game. And stuff like that. But there's so many older style games I'm a bit more interested in. And then, of course, there's the bucket load of old school FPS type games coming out that I want to play when they're fully ready. So it's only got so much time for so many games. Yeah, I've been thinking of playing like Tomb Raider 1 and 2. That's what I'd like to do. I've beaten Tomb Raider 1 like when I played it like a long time ago. But I never got around to beating 2 properly. That's something I need to do someday. I will be playing Tomb Raider 1 and 2 on stream. You know, I'd like to revisit that. Don't know about the modern ones though, but yeah, so many games, not enough lifetime or money. In my case, it's time. Something I've had to learn to appreciate in the last few years is the fact that I have to stop buying games and start playing them, you know. We've all had the sin of building up our Steam lists and never playing these games over the years. And now I'm like... That's why... Which is the same mentality as to why I have these lists in the first place on my own channel. Yeah, playing my backlog. That's why I've had this problem with the list for years. You know, it's like, enough is enough. So when I handle this in the future, there won't be any list. I mean... With the Doom request list, at least I'm playing it as ongoing thing. That's something I'm constantly going through. So it's not like I'm ignoring it for 8 years and then playing Fable in like 8 years later. You know, I don't want that scenario to happen again. The request list for Doom might take a few years, but at least I'll be slowly working through it bit by bit, which is fine in that sense. And then, of course, I'd like to play my PS2 games I have a collection of. At least a couple of those I'd like to actually play on stream someday when I get a PS2 thing set up. And a few other sort of things here and there too, whenever. So, yeah. Are there any other questions from the chat at all? Oh, looks like Pineapple's streaming. Yes, of course. Sunder is waiting in the future. whenever I acquire 2,000 followers, although that seems to be, it might be a while longer in that regard. I've generally I generally have I know I don't obsess a lot over metrics per se, but I have noticed that it feels like in the last month or so, but actually a few months, ever since that suspension back in February, that I sort of haven't really, like, it used to be for years I've had like a very steady sort of one or two followers every so often kind of thing, and as of recently, it feels like I'm kind of stuck a little. Not that this is a problem, of course, but it's just something I've noticed. So it might have to wait a while for that one. I think it feels like probably because there's more options out there for people on Twitch in terms of Doom recently. And other factors outside my control, but you might be waiting a while for the 2,000 follower thing. So I'm not really gonna talk about it or go on about like, oh, it's only 84 followers until Sunday now or whatever it is. I'm gonna just sort of leave that to happen whenever it happens, if it does happen at the 2,000 mark. So, we'll see. I mean, maybe it never happens. Maybe this is my peak. I stick at 1,900 followers and I'm quite content with that, and that's it. We'll have to see. Only time will tell, honestly. I don't think I'm at my peak yet, but we'll see. I'm still having fun streaming is the main thing, so that's all that matters, the important thing, to have fun with what I do, and I certainly do have fun doing this. Taking more regular-ish breaks also helps. That's why I've been I felt it's felt right to like take a few days off recently now. It's the first stream I've done since Wednesday, so I'm trying to get out of this sort of old routine of just streaming as often as possible, because I think that's been into my detriment really, because sometimes the streams are a bit flat because I'm just not quite in the right mood or whatever. I think that's been a bit of a bane in the past because I've been like a machine as a streamer. I need to be less like a machine and realize that sometimes I need a night off, Quality over quantity in general. So, are there any other questions from the audience tonight or today? It's still daylight out there. Maybe because the requirements to stay in the Suitepee suite is harder. Well, who knows? I'm not really going to let it concern me too much. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like to see metric growth, but it's not the biggest deal. I'm quite happy to say I have a solid community here of about average of 30 viewers for a Doom stream. You're all nice people, It's been I feel very content, I'm not going to sit here and say I wish I had more viewers. I wish I had more followers. I wish I had more interaction. I'm really happy where I am at the moment, And if it comes, and if there's more to come in the future, it comes. And if it doesn't, and I stay like this for the next decade, but I have 10 years of good, high-quality streams with less trolls and less drama and just lots of fun, great. Nothing wrong with that. Streaming is all about fun. It's not a job. It's a very passionate hobby that some of us are lucky enough to be able to engage in. So, and I hope to be. You have. It doesn't count, Bemused. Most of those subs have been there since I did the channel in 2012, probably. And I'm not stacking the subs together. It doesn't count. It has to be 2,000 followers on Twitch. It's a 2,000 followers on Twitch, I made that very clear, Bemused. You can't loophole me. You're not getting your Sunder until 2,000 followers, legitimate followers, plus are required for this channel. And I still have confidence that I will achieve that one day. You know, just might take a while. And I'm happy for it to take a while because, Jesus Christ, Sunder Map 15 is going to break me when it comes. It's going to break me. I am happy for the delays. And it will hang over me like the sword of Damocles. Damocles. Whatever. You know what I mean. So, it'll come. The longer you delay, the more maps get added. Yeah, but I only have to play one map. Unless I do well enough and I want to play a second. I don't have to play all of them. It just has to be at least one map. That's the condition. If I enjoy it, or maybe I do well, maybe I do a second, but it's minimum one map. Yeah. It is. At least one map. Because otherwise it might take ages and I might, it'll be an ongoing thing, I've said that since the beginning. This is not new information. I've said this months ago. I will play at least one map of Sunder and I have to complete it. So it'll be map 15. Maybe I would play more. It will depend on how I feel after I complete one map of New Sunder. New Sunder has broken good players. What do you think it's going to do to me? It's going to fucking kill me is what? Because if I was to play all the current maps, I would probably need to spare like at least 2 months. Which by the time it happens might not necessarily be out the question. So who knows what happens? Who knows? Alright, I think that's all the questions that people want to ask for tonight. I suspect. I mean, fair enough. Not a problem. So, yeah. Want to say thank you all for watching, really, and I'm gonna probably fondly remember this this stream for this donation. To be honest, like remember this as the goofy 1966 PayPal donation, Sweet State, and a bunch of other stuff happened too. So, just to let you know what's coming up, I am going to be doing a few more Danganronpa Volume 3 streams on Dope Whivs over the next few weeks. I want to get that finished. I'm going to try and focus on that a bit more for this month, as I said earlier. So that way I can play Zero Escape on here. So you'll see me a few times on the Dope Whivs doing that, hopefully over the next few weeks. I will be playing the Resident Evil 8 Village demo sometime in next week, so expect that pretty soon, within the next 7 or 8 days, because it is a timed demo, not just in the game, but also in I think it's like, it stops being available at the end of next week, so I'll need to do that. Who is your idea for rating, Lord Misfit? But the next thing I'll be doing on here is maybe tomorrow, but if not tomorrow, it will be soon. I will be starting to play Lilith.pk3, the Depop request. So that'll be the next thing on here. Pink Kitty Rose. Okay, I guess we can raid Pink Kitty Rose. Sure. So that's what's going to be coming up. So, yeah. So thank you all for watching. Thanks for your questions and your support tonight. And I will catch you soon for some Doom, for some Resident Evil 8, and some... other stuff. So there we go. Let's raid her. And I'll see you all in later. Have a good evening. Stay safe. Have fun.